Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Basham Yahweh Shai, Basham Rukakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. Salutation to the Akim and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through their father, and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. Shalom. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And then this is about the Euphrates River drying up, right? And it made the omega sign, right, which actually means it's the end of the Greek alphabet. It don't mean the end right here. That says it means the end. No, but it's the end of the Greek alphabet, right? And even Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 1 verse 8. I am Alpha, right, which is the first letter of the Greek alphabet, and Omega, which is the last letter of the Greek alphabet, right? Which now Euphrates drying up, which is a great prophecy in this end time, which is showing the Omega sign, which is a great sign that it's going to be the end, that we're at the end, the beginning of the end, right? So now that you're seeing that sign, now you know that this is the beginning of the end. Saith the Lord, or Adawanya, or Adawan, which is, and which was, and which is to come, Almighty, right? And that Almighty goes into what Alashaja, right? So Alashaja is coming to visit this world real soon, man, to hand out judgment and to save and to redeem the elect, man. Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 1, verse 11, saying, I am an Alpha, right? The first letter of the Greek alphabet, and the Omega, the last letter of the Greek alphabet, the first and the last, and what thus seest write in a book, and send it unto the seven churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, unto Smyrna, unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sidis, and unto Philadelphia, and Laodicea, right? And then what those seven churches represent is what the Israelites around the world, right? And also it represents these people with all these different doctrines too, right? Because what the Lord is gonna test the world. He's gonna try the world which He have made, right? Right. The whole world's gonna go under this great test, right? Yeah. So this is Eurasia News Times, or Eurasia Times. It says a Russian submarine pops up off the U.S. coast. Military experts say development uh, resembles Soviet-style tactics. So right, so here it is. The prophecies are jumping off the page, right, all over the place, right, and people are saying the Bible's not real. It says Let me just go down right here. It says Newsweek reports earlier this week that commanders and military observers are raising the alarm over Russia submarine fleet actively off the coast of the United States, right? The place of unwalled villages, man. So what? These is prophecies happen all over, you know what I mean? According to officers, Russian submarines have also been spotted more frequently in the Mediterranean, right? Over there in the Middle East, Mediterranean Sea, and near the shores of the United States. See? The place in Yahweh Shaphat, right? And in the place of what? Unwalled villages all at one time, right there. Prophecy, man. Preoccupation with the Ukraine war and the subsequent buildup of Russian forces and nuclear submarines in the Black Sea, man. Hey, it's happening, man. And as we can see, what end time prophecy is alive and well, man. Jumping off the Bible, man. Popping like popcorn, as Elder Ricard would say, man. It's popping like popcorn, man. It's happening, man. Real life, man. Right? So we're at the end of this thing.
The Primus presents. Iraq is oil rich, but the country is plagued by poverty after decades of war, droughts, and desertification. Adding more to the disaster is the fact that the river, which is said to have watered the biblical Garden of Eden, is found to be slowly drying up. Drought in the Euphrates River has been a phenomenon with a lot of religious backing. However, when the Bible says particular things will happen, it doesn't tell if it's due to nature or because of man's politics or industry. They happen. One of Western Asia's most essential and longest rivers is the Euphrates. It originates in Turkey and travels through the southeast mountains and southern foothills of the area before flowing into Syria and Iraq, and a variety of vegetation before emptying into the Persian Gulf. Even though centuries of human occupancy and activity have drastically degraded the terrain, some remnants of the old vegetation in the Euphrates basin remain. Images taken along the Euphrates banks show that a sizable portion of the river has dried up. Pictures of Syria's second largest dam on the Euphrates River reveal that the river's flows have substantially fallen. The waters flowing into Iraq and Syria are mostly shut off by the Turkish state, exploiting the Euphrates as a weapon against Syrians for years. Syria is meant to get 500 cubic meters of water per second from Turkey, according to the 1987 agreement between the governments of Damascus and Ankara. The occupying state, however, does not uphold the deal and is currently only supplying 200 cubic meters of water each second. On the land, the detrimental impact.
Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 16, verse 12, right? Also, the yeah, so this dude's speaking about how you don't know if it was in the Bible, if the Lord was referring to what if man did it, or it basically, you know, God, you know, like they were saying, like they would say, the act of God or whatever, you know, by natural means or whatever. But it don't matter, because by unnatural means, they built dams, and then they don't hold up to the treaties that they had, you know, in releasing the 5,000 cubics of water or whatever they're supposed to be using, leaving out, pushing out, and only pushing out 2. So therefore, everything's of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's why you see the last letter to the Greek alphabet, right, which symbolizes the end. So we're at the end. So this is Revelation chapter 16, verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, right? So, hey, the Lord sends angels to tap your mind, man. To make you think it was a bright idea to build a dam. And not only do you build the dam, you hog all the water, the so-called water, to yourself. Right? So the Lord made you think that was a bright ass idea. But whatever you do, even like this charagma, that's really the Lord's charagma, man. The Lord wants 2/3 to get the charagma, man. You know, you think it's your bright eye idea, man. Yeah. So this is Revelation 16. But you know what? Before I even speak about that, the guy was speaking about, well, the Bible didn't say if it was gonna be like an act of God, like nature, like they would say, you know, or man. But either which way, the Most High controls nature and He controls man. The Lord will tap your head through an angel and have an angel put some words in your mind and have you build a dam and then not hold on to your agreement, man. Just so biblical prophecy can be fulfilled, man. Just so you could see the last letter of the Greek alphabet, which symbolizes the end, man. Which is Esau's end, which is ultimately all you nations' end, right? Because you're ruling with this beast. On a small scale, all you are ruling on some type of scale over the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, over the Israelites altogether that are scattered abroad, man. Right? To the 12 tribes that are scattered abroad, you're ruling over us, man. In some type of capacity. Right? So you thought it was a bright ass idea to build a dam and then not hold on to your agreements, right? And only putting out 200 of the gallons of water that you're supposed to be putting out, right? And now what? It's the end, right? So this Revelation chapter 16 verse 12, and the sixth angel poured out the vial upon the great river Euphrates, right? And you can't be looking for no actual angel like you could see the angels or something. Like the Lord's gonna allow you as a filthy nothing see the angels do this or do that, man. Don't you know about Jacob's ladder? You can't see Jacob's ladder. The Lord allowed Jacob to see it, man. And even that, he was showing that was in the spirit. So you can't see the spirit, man. So if you think you're looking for something, no, the Lord is dealing this in the spirit, man. But the spirit is about to manifest and become physical, man. So he's showing you something, man, before he come physically, man. Right? So the great river Euphrates and the waters thereof was dried up, man. We at that time, man. That the ways of the kings of the east might be prepared, man. Prepare for what, man? For the battle of Yahushua, man. For that great day, man, of judgment, man. So, and let me keep going. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, right? Because we know that we got NATO, EU, and America, which they created the what do you call it? The Treaty of Rome, right? That's that dragon, which they know that they're, with Great Britain, they know that they're that dragon. And out of the mouth of the beast, right? Because that's right. That will be what? Britain. And out of the mouth of the false prophet. What is that? That's the Vatican. So you got America, which represents the military. You got the Vatican that represents the false prophet, and you got Britain, which represents the finance. It represents the international bankers, man, because ultimately Britain still rules over America, rules over Canada, rules over England, was Australia. That's why you still see the Australian flag has the Britain flag within the Australian flag, man. Britain is still ruling over all these things, all over these things. They just was giving you a fake thing, as if the so-called, what was it, the Boston Tea Party, as if that was real, man. That was fake. All this thing was an illusion to make you think you were free, man. Right? They said the sun will never go down on Britain, man. And they meant that, man. Which is coming from the Amalekites, Amalek, that's ruling through these banks, man. These world banks. And they're unclean spirits, man. They're unclean with what they're bringing forth, man. And next is what the MOTB, but what? The Lord's going to bring forth war in the midst of this, man. Right, okay, yeah, keep going. Because, yeah, speaking of the MOTB, and they are the spirits of devils working miracles. Why? And then what? During the time of the MOTB being pushed and made mandatory, right? Like they made mandatory this yob, man. They made mandatory the yob and the boosters and all these other things that they made I like what Apostle Gabar called it, the hokey pokey, man. That's what you were doing, man. Take this, then turn around, then come back again, man. Right? You was doing a hokey pokey, man. Right? Devils, man. Right? Which devil basically means it means accuser, right? Or categorio, right? Goes into categorize, but it also means false accuser, man. He used all this data and all these different things to categorize you and then falsely accuse you, man. Right? And deceive you in the midst of falsely accusing you or misleading you. By what? By works, by working miracles, right? The MOTB, right? Which is the CHIP, and which dealing with this digital ID, digital currency, right? Which go forth unto the kings of the earth, of the whole world, right? Hey, see? The whole world got to take the MOTB, man. To gather them to the battle, right? And then what? The Lord is going to gather them to what? To the battle, man. The Lord is going to gather you to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, man. Of that great day of Yahweh Almighty, or Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Almighty, which goes into what? That Almighty goes into what? The Alashijah, man. The Lord is finna bring forth death in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat to all these militaries, man. But the main place that's going to be destroyed is America. But the Lord has to bring forth all these things have to happen, man. Prophecy is popping, man. Popping like popcorn, man. It's happening. Yeah. So you got what? This is Ezekiel 38, right? And it says, and thus shall say, I will go up Yeah, so this is Ezekiel 38 and 10. So thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai power, it shall also come to pass that at the same time, right? Because we got all these things going on, prophecies popping up everywhere, popping like popcorn, right? So at the same time, shall things come into thy mind, right? Because they've been playing this whole new world agenda thing, and they playing this whole thing because they're all Masons or Illuminati or shadow government or however you want to say it, man. Whatever game they think they're playing, but the Most High's not playing, right? The Lord said, "Hey." It says, shall things come into thy mind, and thus shall think an evil thought, right? And evil will mean to what? To bring a bad time, man. You're gonna bring a bad time when you got nuclear submarines off the coast of America. That ain't talking about let's party like 1999. You know what I mean? You in trouble, man. And thus shall say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. And what do America have? America has no walls. In ancient times, you put up walls around your country or your city, which America basically is. It's Babylon. It's a great city, right? These are a bunch of city states, right? America's just one big city. That's why it's just a corporation. It's not really a country, you know. They wasn't thinking about their latter end, like the scriptures say. I will go to them that are at rest, man. And all you do is play in America, man. That's why the Lord said, what? The Garden of Eden before it, and a desolate wilderness behind it, man. That dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, right? Because you use the so-called ocean as a wall, but what? There's missiles, arrows, right? That can fly from one end of the earth to the next in less than 30 minutes, man. So that ocean means nothing now. Now even your so-called military don't mean nothing. I didn't go into the article like I should have, but it was saying that it did say something about they noticed this type of thing before. It's been happening. So that means America's weak. You're off the coast of America and you did nothing? You didn't even go meet them out there? You didn't go take your submarines and your vessels and your thing and meet them with military force? You just go, oh yeah, we know. We've been paying attention to the patterns. And it looks like, hey man, hey, America's weak, man. You without walls and having neither bar nor gates, man. Hey, you're not prepared, man. Let me skip down. Go to 16. It says, and thus shall come up against my people Israel, right? Because ultimately, the Lord's going to have to give us spiritual power. We got the regular common Edomite over here. They got guns way greater than us. Then you're gonna have they basically saying they already have China here. Then you have Russia coming up. So you're and they're all against us, right? Especially the men of the Lord. But you regular so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian who don't have the Lord, they're against you, man. And you don't even have the Lord, so you're definitely in trouble. But the men of the Lord's going to give us spiritual power. We're going to be, thrashing them, man. Once the Lord give us some spiritual powers, man. Because or else we won't be saved. Right? It says, to come up against my people Israel as a cloud that to cover the land, right? Cover America, because this is the place of unwalled villages, and it shall come, and it shall be in the latter days, which we're at now. I will bring thee against my land, right? Because we're people before a place, that the heathen may know me, right? The valley of Yehoshaphat, but then they're also coming to America. And it says, and when I shall be, when I shall be, when I shall be sanctified in thee, right? Which basically the Lord said he's gonna make them a sacrifice, O Gog, before their eyes, right? The Lord is gonna make you a sacrifice before the eyes of the elect, man. And says, thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, or thus he of whom I have spoken in old time by my servants, the prophets, right? By those same people you're going to come up against of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years that I would bring thee against them, right? So we're coming to this latter time that they're going to come against us where? Here in the land of unwalled villages, man, which is America. And it shall come to pass at that same time when Gog, right, which is Russia, we know that to be Russia, shall come against the land of Israel, where people before place, saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, power, that my fury shall come up in my face. So the Lord's going to get angry, man. And in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken suddenly, surely, Slakia, in that day there shall be a great shaking, right? And that's when they're shooting ICBM missiles everywhere, right? And when the Lord giving us spiritual power over here in America to defend us, so we could, because otherwise we ain't gonna have anything. So the Lord, somewhere along the line, the Lord's gonna have to give us spiritual power, man. The regular average Edomite got higher power, more weapons than us. You know what I mean? So something's gonna have to happen. Let alone you got the American army, you're gonna have the Chinese military, then you got the Russian military that's gonna be here, man. Then you got these drones, the drone dogs, the drone man. Hey, we're gonna need the Lord, man, and the Lord's fury is gonna come up, man. The Lord's jealousy is gonna show up, man. There's gonna be a great shaking in the land of Israel, right? Right, and that's twofold, because you got the actual land, and then you're gonna have the people, man. When we're people before a place, right? And you already know what the Lord said about how the Lord's gonna destroy America. See, it says right here, it says so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of heaven and the beasts of the field and all the creepy things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence, right? When ICBM missiles shooting from Russia to America, America to Russia, NATO, EU, all them shooting missiles towards America, man, this thing is gonna reel to and fro, man. Right? The Lord's finna get the military, because some of Russia's military is going to be here in America, but some of Russia's military is going to be in the Middle East, right? So in the land of Gog and Magog, they're going to get it, but over here in the land of unwalled villages, they're going to get it, right? The Lord says He's going to make them a sacrifice, shake it at my presence, and the mountains, right? All these governments shall be thrown down. The steep places shall fall, and every wall, right? So all your militaries shall fall to the ground, man. So the Lord's going to put an end to all these different militaries. And now that makes more sense, because the Lord is going to have to save us from them that hate us, man. The Lord's going to have to give us spiritual power. And the Lord's going to have to save us from a time like that. Like a time no other. And you're talking high power, because China just showed that they have a laser weapon. Russia just showed that they have a laser weapon. I believe America showed that they have a laser weapon. So these people, I mean, forget your little AR-15 or your AK-47. These people got drones, they got tanks, and they got laser weapons. Hey, man, shh. But yeah, they're going to come to the land of unwalled villain, which they're already popping up. They're showing you they're going to destroy, man. Even the sea they're going to destroy. That's why when you go into Revelation, I think it's 8, when it talks about us destroying the sea, the water, the fishes, man, that's that time, man. What did they say? The thing was called the Poseidon, where the thing shoots up off the coast and it blows up with a nuclear missiles from the water. That's going to kill all the fish and all the beast and the creepy things that live right in that, man. Listen. So the Lord got plans for this place, man. And for them, for Gog and Magog to lead them there to destroy them. So call Lawyum Yahweh, Basham Yahweh Shai, Basham Rakal Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim and the four winds, preaching the truth, sincerity, risking their lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through their father, right? And have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. Shalom and Abba Ball.